In terms of, as an employer, kind of being an attractive employer and distinguishing yourself as an employer of choice to the talent market in 2023, there are three kind of key things that we would recommend. The first is a constant, and won't be a surprise to anyone, but focusing on being competitive from a pay and reward perspective remains critical, and even more so kind of given a cost of living crisis and high levels of inflation. From a pay perspective, that means kind of remaining competitive both on salary but also in approach to pay rises, in terms of that might mean kind of matching inflation or going kind of beyond that. From a kind of broader reward perspective though, looking at kind of employee benefits and kind of pensions, there's a lot that can be done in terms of maximising the value that you get from your spend already in a benefit package. That means that you don't have to kind of significantly invest more funds at a time where businesses are already kind of cost conscious. The second thing to focus on is maintaining flexibility around working arrangements. So we're seeing at the moment that a lot of talent are having flexible working, so being able to work from home and in the office as non-negotiable in their kind of job hunts. So making sure that you provide that flexibility and a great working experience, whether you are working remotely or kind of in the workplace where possible, is absolutely essential for an employer. That doesn't mean that everybody wants to work from home all the time. It really is about having the flexibility to choose. So what we're seeing is that employers who are offering that flexibility, a framework that agrees what works for the business and what works for people, and enabling people to make choices within that, is really important. The last thing to consider then is about your kind of company values. So more and more we're seeing, especially kind of the younger generations coming into the workforce, placing an increasing importance on the organisation's values and whether that is they are aligned to their own, but also to the purpose of the organisation itself. And societally, we are being quicker and more forthright in our challenge, where businesses are making like the wrong decisions or decisions that go against kind of the ethics of their employees and of their shareholders. And as such, we are seeing people choosing much more carefully the brands that they want to align themselves with. Retention is similar to attraction in terms of the principles of demonstrating yourself as an employer of choice. In addition, I would add kind of firstly investing in the skills of your employees. So from employees and the talent market know that building and developing their own skills gives them a broader range of opportunities in their future careers. You can also do that at little or no cost using kind of funded training or something like the apprenticeship levy. Secondly, I would add to kind of invest in your inclusion and diversity agenda and really focusing from an inclusion perspective. So whilst kind of diversity targets are sometimes the focus of a talent attraction agenda, focusing on the lived experience of your people whilst they're in work and engaging with work is a great way to kind of retain a diverse range of talent. That also then builds some resilience into your workforce, as the more diverse your workforce is, the differently they'll experience kind of change as your organisation kind of responds to market changes, bringing a kind of business benefit to investing in that inclusion as well. The final thing that I would add from a retention perspective is providing clarity of expectation for your people, and I mean that for two things. So firstly, clarity of expectation in terms of what they can expect their career to look like as they work for you. So as you're talking about your kind of strategy, your vision for your company in the next 5-10 years time, really translating that into what does that mean in terms of what role do they have in getting the business there, and what might their career look like as they grow through the business. The second part of that is then how can they expect you to treat them as an employee of your business, and a few ways to be kind of really clear around that. So taking a slightly more human approach to HR, rather than having a really strict kind of set of policies and processes that kind of must be complied with, having a really skilled line manager population that have some freedom within a framework to work and manage the people in a really human way, just creates that different feeling and a sense of belonging that really retains people and that talent are really valuing.